What's up everybody, Doug Layton here, Fast Lane Car Care. Welcome back to the channel. Today we got our brand spanking new, fresh off the lot, just picked up this week. It's a 2025 Honda Pilot and we've somehow locked ourselves in. That's concerning. Why is this door not working? That's weird. Literally never happened to me before, especially since the keys are sitting right there. Anyway, we're gonna bottom load this. I'm gonna show you guys how these come apart. Yes, you could two-stage this because you have this long side. The older Pilots, I believe, have a really short deal, and it's really annoying. These are so easy, guys. I know a lot of you guys are gonna be like, oh, I don't wanna bottom load, I don't wanna break things. It's super easy. Check this. Grab a hold of this. I don't know if you can tell. I'm not grabbing the sweep. Just gonna pull. Just kind of gently. You're not trying to go full gorilla. Just try to get it started. Boom. Now what I do is I like take my knee right here just to hold the door. Work your way down. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Okay, everything's apart. Now, I don't know if you can... Okay, there's two green tabs down in there, and sometimes they'll just pop out like that. Sometimes I like to snake this little guy down in here and just boop, just to release it. You can technically get the sweeps out without doing that, but it just takes a lot of the pressure off the door panel. Check that out. Done. We got Titan over here cutting. Now, if you watch the last video, we cut a Tacoma completely wrong. I don't know why that person had that like that, but whatever. We cut the wrong pattern, but fear not. I know what I'm doing on this one, guys. This is not my first rodeo. Okay? Look at this. Super easy. Boom, out the back, boom. Now, go ahead and hit that bad boy twice. We'll do the same thing we did on the Tacoma. Roll it up about 3/4 of the way. We're gonna walk over here, we're gonna turn off our lights. Boom, boom. Boop. And we'll just go ahead and clean the top edge of our windows and just the exterior glass in general. So anyway, the Pilots, these newer ones, pretty much every one I've seen has been 15% or less on the factory glass, so darker. So your best match on these is gonna be 20%. Now we got a RAV4 out there that's gonna hit probably 30%. And yeah. So that's why it's so critical to have a light meter, guys. So critical if you're gonna do this for a living. Now, if it's just you know, friends, family, whatever, you just want to do a couple of your cars. One, you're probably not watching this because why would you pay for a membership if you only wanted to do a couple cars when there's a million other Tint videos for free? But whatever, neither here nor there. Boom, super simple. Now, I'm gonna sneeze. Hang on. Maybe I won't. What I like to do is I like just take a microfiber here, like just kind of wad it up. I like to just kind of tuck it however you have to. Just kind of hold that back a little bit. We got our sticker residue there. You can do the same thing on the front if you want. I never ever set these blades on interior, especially not on a brand new car. So that's why I just laid it on the floor. Boom, boom. Let's go over to the other side. We're probably done cutting. This car, if you're plotting, should take you 30 minutes. I mean, depending on if you're a one-man band, you got to do phone calls and all that stuff. But for me, I can knock these out in, you know, sub 1 hour, easy, sub 1 hour. So we'll call it 12:15. Got some sniffles happening. Yeah, so I'm filming all these videos on one day, so I left the cutting part out because I'm running out of batteries. Run out of GoPro batteries. We had to dig into the blue batteries, which they just don't last as long in extreme temperatures, so they say. I don't know. I'm really kind of interested to see what the DJI cameras are like. DJI? Yeah, DJI. I guess they have some action cameras that apparently are way better than the GoPro series. But, you know, I don't know. Same thing I showed you on the last video. Just get rid of some of this. Now I can confidently say these patterns are going to be good to go because I've done some pilots before of this body style, and core be on point with them, man. So same thing I did last time. Boom, boom. One thing to note about plotters, I know like some of you guys are gonna ask about, because this stuff pops up all the time in the different Facebook groups and stuff, what settings for what film. Guys, it completely depends on your plotter and your film. And what I mean by that is your blade, you have to manually poke that blade out a little bit, right? You've got to set that depth. And if you have that a little bit further in, meaning less of the blade is coming out or sticking out, you're going to have to run a little bit more force, more than likely, than somebody else, even if they're using the same machine and the same film. And conversely, if you have your blade sticking out more, you're going to have to run less force, as a general rule. But if you have too much blade sticking out, you're going to have a bad time regardless. So yeah, there's that. Really, you need to learn how to set up the plotter, watch some videos, ask some questions. We can get into some of that stuff too, but I'm not an expert. I know how to set mine up, but I've only been around a few different plotters and vinyl cutters, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know everything about them, because I certainly don't. Okay, all right. Driver side pattern here. Okay, just randomly like stopped recording as if I turned it off or something. I was a little bit concerned that perhaps we overheated, but not yet. Hold your breath on that deal though. We got driver side pattern already over there, and of course we're going to use the passenger side pattern. We'll peel it off the peel board. Boom, boom. So we're still 1226. What are you guys thinking? 1240s? 1240 will be done. We are not, well, it won't be on this video, but I said I wanted to be done by 2 o'clock today. We are not going to be done by 2 o'clock. The person that brought the RAV originally only wanted the four roll-ups done, which is kind of a weird request, because you guys know the new RAV4s have a front port window, a back door port window, plus the hatch. Apparently it's just gonna keep like randomly stopping. But anyway, they decided they wanted to do the whole thing, which is fine by me. I kind of figured they would, because 4 roll-ups on a, what is that, 7-8 window car is kind of a weird deal. Doesn't usually happen too much, but so I kind of had a feeling it was gonna happen, but it did happen, and we probably ain't gonna get done by 2. Do. Scrubby scrub real good, you know what I'm saying? Bring it back down. Can never have a window too clean. Set this little buddy right there. You already know. I'm gonna hit her with the gator blade. I love when these things don't have hydrophobic coatings on them, because it just makes life so much simpler. Reduces the number of steps you gotta have. Don't worry, we will cover in great detail the first car that we get with a hydrophobic coating on the glass on the members only content side of things. I know I've talked about it in the past, but we're gonna talk about it real nerdy like, baby. We're gonna get down and dirty with it. And yeah, so go ahead and just mist her again. And because I rolled that window back up, right, I just want to go ahead and hit it again. Man, you can't have it too clean. See how we got a couple little specks of scrubby right there? That's obviously no good. Come out here, overlap it real nice. I don't know if you can see that, just a touch. Just a touch. So some YouTubers, man, they cut their videos down, they make all these cool transitions, they do all this stuff to keep people entertained, and in doing that, a lot of times they cut out those little details that you need to take your skills to the next level. Sometimes, you know, I get it. You know, sometimes it's really boring watching somebody heat shrink a window, but you know, sometimes there are things that you can find in watching that from start to finish that will be valuable for you in your career. So that is one reason why, and I've discussed it in other videos past, I don't cut much stuff out. You know, obviously if the phone rings, I'm not going to record that conversation and, you know, all that. Yeah, I will cut that out. Or if my little one comes out here and chatting up a storm, I'll cut that out because it's not relevant to what we're doing. But beyond that, yeah, I don't cut stuff out to try to make myself look perfect or anything like that. I just try to keep it raw as I can, as if you were sitting here watching me. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's like holding a little baby. Just gotta be so gentle. Just gotta be so gentle. Okay, now we wanna just whoop, get you in there. Get rid of our excess there. Bottom loading was a little bit tricky for me to learn after two-staging for like 7 years, but man, I'm so thankful that I took the time to really like give it a chance, because it's just chef's kiss. Get this cleaned up. We don't want Mama's car to be dirty or streaky or anything like that. Thankfully, it seems that the dealership did not put a bunch of Armor All or any of that BS on there. So I think we're going to be in good shape. But something to be mindful of. So yeah, we're going to check our top edge here. I'm liking it. We'll see what happens. It's kind of wanting to tack, so I don't want to like shove on it too much. I'm pretty happy with how that is. Could be a little bit tighter, but definitely definitely seen a lot worse. So if that's all we end up with, that's not gonna crush my feelings here. But a lot of times, once you get that distributed, nope, I think it's gonna stay where it wants to, right there where is like where it wants to stay, and that's fine. That's fine. We can work with that. Boom, boom. You know what time it is? Time for the dehydra. And just push all that moisture up and out of there. Boom. Get it out. And that's really gonna help lock down that film. Just try to get as much as we can. Overlapping strokes. We don't want to leave any bubbles behind. You know, no bubbles left behind. That's what I'm talking about. Dun, dun, dun. And if we want, we can just give out a little wipe just to make sure, you know what I mean? Just make sure everything's all good to go. I like to wipe these tools off. Man, you can have the smoothest, cleanest, nicest tri-edge, easy reach, whatever, don't matter. But if you get a piece of little, you know, dirt, sand, whatever in it, it's gonna scratch that film, man. So I always like to make sure that's clean. Like stick my finger up there in that top edge, just get any extra water behind. And you already know, we'll come out here, give her a little spritz with the isopropyl alcohol mix. It's not isopropyl, I don't think, actually. It's this, I don't know how special it is, but I get it from a buddy of mine that gets it from a printing press company, and they use that alcohol to clean their print presses to get the ink and stuff off. And I'm telling you what, man, cut that down with like 50% water, and it is an amazing glass cleaner. Okay, we got one finger here, right? We got a big finger right there. Check this out, okay? Obviously, we didn't shrink anything. We didn't do anything like that. So, what are we gonna do? Well, come right over here to the top. We're just gonna kind of push down and out. Boop. Down and out. And I'll tell you, since I started bottom loading, I almost never shrink. Snap shrink, double shrink, whatever kind of shrink. Obviously back glasses and whatnot, windshields, you gotta shrink. But doing these side windows, back doors on Honda Civics is about it. And honestly, bro, what? Bro, what? We we just how does that even happen? We just yeah. Okay, well, it was looking really good. So anyway, I haven't had to shrink side windows. We were gonna lay that down. I don't know. I have no words. I don't know how I did that. So at first thought, I would assume that it was on the, like, if it hit the start stop point and you had like a little weird little bit, you could catch it and tear it like that. But we didn't, because it start stops in the corner. So now we gotta come over here. Dang, that's really frustrating, man. It seems like it's just gonna be one of those Mondays where if it can go wrong, it will. We'll just hit cut. It's gonna cut. We'll work on this passenger side while we're waiting. That's pretty wild stuff, man. Can't say that I've ever had one rip like that. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. We'll take this blue guy here. We'll tuck him in here. You know, why not? And we could just, don't matter. Put him here. Yeah, back in my detailing days, man, I had all my towels color-coded. Like, green ones were for paint, so they never touched interior surfaces or wheels or tires or anything like that. Had them all color-coded and even washed them separately. Yellows were generally our interior towels. But since I started tinting and exclusively tinting, I realized that, like, the orange and yellows are the only ones that don't really lint. And the weird thing is, they're not all the same brand and they're not all the same type of towel. They have different GSM ratings and all that stuff, but yet for some reason they're the least linty of the towels. So like the green ones will leave lint, and blue ones definitely leave lint, which is kind of weird because the blue ones are actually the same brand as the orange ones and some of the yellows. So it's like, I don't get it, but it is what it is, I suppose. So we didn't blade it, did we? We didn't blade it. We got ahead of ourselves. Where's our blade? Dun dun dun. That's okay. You can never have a window that's too clean. That's why it's really important to get in the habit of having a routine, because then you can just kind of autopilot. You don't have to think about it as much. It's just, you know what you got to do and when you got to do it. And that can make you a more confident tinter and save you some time as well. So whatever, no big deal. I mean, I already got to wait on that thing to do its thing. Oh, looks like it's done. But regardless, I got time to kill. So if it takes me an extra 45 seconds to do this window, it's not the end of the world. Come here, get in there. This is real life tint stuff, guys. Like sometimes, man, like sometimes you mess something up. Just is what it is. It's not all unicorns and rainbows. You don't always get the first, you know, the window perfect on the first try. Sometimes you got to give her a go or two or three. Sometimes, you know, sometimes you plot the wrong pattern. Sometimes you hand cut and you sneeze or something and, you know, you miss the cut. It is what it is. So I just, if I touch the adhesive, it's down here in this bottom corner. This bottom corner doesn't really matter. It's gonna be below the seal. And I have core set up to cut extra, which as you saw in the, if you watch the Tacoma video, it's not always that much extra, but it gets you below the gasket. That's what really matters. Come here, little buddy. Give me a little slippy slip. Boop, there we go. There we go. Don't bind up on daddy. Sometimes you just gotta talk to the tint real nice, you know? Sometimes it works. Sometimes you gotta say cuss words. I'm getting a little bit slippy, or a little bit too tight, so I'll just mist it again with a little bit of slip. Now if you run into like dry spots like this with ceramic film, good luck to you. You're gonna put some glue streaks in it. Now most of the time, the crazy thing is, with that acrylic adhesive, it looks horrible. And you think, man, I'm gonna have to rip that off. But if you just let that stuff dry, most of the time, that stuff will cure out. Even, like, I've seen some pretty gnarly ones. And it's like, man, like, that's bad. Eh? Let it dry in the sun for a few hours, and it starts going away. And it'll cure out. It's like, dang, that's wild. So, boom. Boom. Now I'm not using my shank to check my edges, and that's just because I can see I'm tucked way behind there, and I can see back in here I'm tucked behind there. So in this particular instance, I'm confident that right here where we have it laid is good enough. Now see, I don't know if you can see this, but see how it's just kind of not wanting to lay? We can take our shank if we want. This seal's a little bit tight, but if we just create a little bit of space, sometimes we can just let the film, you know, lay down there. I don't want to mess with that too much, because if it is snagged on something, I don't want to pinch it and make it worse. All right, so we'll just come up here, do our thing, check. Okay, it's pretty tacky, as we expected. And on this deal, we'll just push up. We'll push a little bit down. I'm not going to push too much down. Hard pass time. Okay, get that top edge real good, get it locked down real nice. We are dragging the film. Get it positioned where we want it again. I'm dragging it a little bit here. So just double check everything, make sure everything's good. We got a little bit of moisture, tried to run back down in there. Okay, boom, boom. Bring that down just a touch, just because, you know, just because. Yeah, we're not snagging, but still. And give her just a little wipe down here. Make sure everything good. And what are you guys thinking? You thinking we should torch it, make it stick, make sure it stays? I'm thinking that's gonna be the move. Go ahead and push down here one time and go up. And one in the back, just to make sure any moisture hanging out in that top edge is gone. Time we got 12:43. That kind of screwed our plans, but sometimes you'll have that. Realistically, guys, I mean, it is kind of about dollars per hour, right? Because you know, if you have goals and you have bills and whatever, you do have to make, you know, X amount of money a day or a week or a month or whatever. There we go, there we go. We'll set that little guy right there. Where is our chiseler here? Now, you saw me before bump this edge with a shop towel, and it is my preferred method. I'm being lazy. I don't feel like walking over there. What I want to do is just want to make sure that's warm. It is, and I can't move the film. Boom, boom, bump that just to make sure we're not sliding, trapping it, you know, getting any moisture that might be lingering there. Now, let's see if we can not ruin this one. Give her a little spritz. See how I don't know if you can see, but it's bound up right here. Check that out. Boom. All we had to do is make a little space for it. Okay. Now, that'd be pretty wild if I like tore it again. I'd definitely have some questions. I'll be going back through the footage, trying to figure it out. Hard pass time. Boom. Boom. And if you want, you just want to ensure that there's no moisture hanging out down on the bottom that can get sucked back in. Take your towel, gently run it across the bottom. If you put too much pressure, it can actually make it worse. All we want to do is just absorb any lingering puddles of moisture. And boom, boom, come in here. Da-da-da-da. Let's say you want to clean this top edge up for real, okay. Bump it down, there's no sweep, there's nothing to get caught on. So you can clean that top edge up as much as you'd like. We got like 2 specks right there, no big deal. And let's just hit the outside of the glass, let's double check everything. Just because we can, we'll just clean that mirror up a little bit for them. And what do you guys think? Our little fingers are gone, nowhere to be found. We didn't rip this pattern, that's good. Looks like we might have a little moisture bubble we need to push out right there. 1 speck right there. Got some dust and some fuzzies and stuff on the glass. No bigs, no bigs. I don't see any other specks. So we got like 2 up in here that's up in the window channel, and we got 1 just below the window channel. Done deal. Show you guys how easy this is. You only have to roll these windows back down. The felt always goes up against the glass, and most of these have like 2 sweeps, right? So people talk about, oh, I got 2 stage, got to tuck it below the sweeps. You're gonna get past this one, you're gonna have a hard time stuffing enough film to get down past this sweep here. So really, you know, it all comes down to having a good quality film with a good adhesive package that you can count on. So I don't even tell my customers to wait anymore as far as rolling them up and down. So you got a tab in here, you just push, and then it's just a matter of locking that little guy, look everything back in place. Okay. And it's like we were never here. clean up any drips that we may have. I like just give the door panel a little wipe down anyway, especially when it's new. You know, get some of that residual dust and all that stuff off there. Keeps them brand new cars looking brand new, you know what I'm saying?